Imagine waking up tomorrow to a news alert so monumental it instantly rewrites the global economic landscape, an alert confirming that the Central Bank of Iraq has not just hinted at or planned for, but has officially and physically begun the circulation of lower denomination dinar notes, effectively setting the final stage for the revaluation you have been patiently waiting for. And this is not a drill. This is not a rumor from a cryptic forum. This is the tangible reality unfolding on the ground in Baghdad and beyond as we speak, marking the single most significant piece of evidence to date that the RV process is not just theoretical anymore, it is fully operational and moving with a purpose and speed that has caught many off guard. The release of these smaller notes, the 250, the 500, and the 1,000 dinar notes, is the crucial linchpin without which a true revaluation could never functionally occur, because think about it logically, if the dinar were to revalue to even a fraction of its potential, using the current highest denomination note for a simple purchase like a loaf of bread or a bottle of water would become an absolute impossibility, a comical exercise in impracticality, which is why this specific action by the central bank is the ultimate signal, the undeniable proof that the internal mechanics for a new exchange rate are not just ready but are being actively deployed into the Iraqi economy itself, preparing the populace for the new financial paradigm that is about to dawn. This move is a direct fulfillment of the central bank's own stated goals within its broader monetary reform initiative, a plan that has been years in the making and has been meticulously overseen by the International Monetary Fund to ensure its stability and its integration with the global banking system, which means this is not an isolated event. It is a carefully choreographed step in a sequence of steps designed to bring Iraq's currency out of the era of isolation and into the modern age of international finance. The very fact that you can now physically hold a lower denomination note in Iraq that holds a significantly higher value in international terms than it did just months ago is the smoking gun, the concrete evidence that the rate change has already been internally accepted and is now being physically manifested, and this manifestation is the most powerful message the central bank could ever send to the world. A message that says the old rate is obsolete, the new rate is here, and the process of universal recognition is the only step that remains. Banks within Iraq are not passive observers in this historic transition, they are the active engines preparing for the next, most critical phase of the rollout, which involves the international exchange and the conversion protocols that will allow global holders to participate, and internal memos and operational shifts indicate that these financial institutions are already conducting dry runs, updating their software systems to handle the new decimal places, and training their staff on the specific procedures for large volume exchanges to ensure a seamless transition when the gates finally open. The connection between this physical release of notes and the IMF's oversight cannot be overstated, as the IMF would never sanction such a definitive move unless every prerequisite for stability had been met, including the successful deletion of zeros from the currency, the establishment of robust anti-money laundering frameworks, and the proven ability of Iraq's financial infrastructure to support the new value without collapsing under the pressure, which means the presence of these new notes in circulation is the IMF's silent but resounding stamp of approval on the entire operation. For every dinar holder watching this, the significance of this moment cannot be diluted by past disappointments or the noise of skeptics, because this is a fundamental shift in the very fabric of the investment, moving it from the realm of speculation into the realm of execution, where the pieces on the chessboard are now moving with a decisive and final intent. And your patience is about to be validated in a way that will be studied in economic textbooks for generations to come. The circulation of these lower denomination notes fundamentally shatters the previous exchange rate structure and establishes a new, firmer foundation upon which the final revalued rate will be publicly announced and globally traded, meaning the old rate that has been listed on international currency sites for years is now effectively a ghost, a placeholder for a system that has already been replaced behind the scenes. And the emergence of these notes is the public-facing proof of that new system's activation. This new exchange rate structure is not a random number picked out of thin air. It is a carefully calculated value derived from Iraq's immense natural resources, primarily its vast oil reserves, its growing non-oil economic sectors, and its strategic gold holdings, all of which back the currency with tangible assets, making the new dinar a commodity-backed currency in a world of fiat money, which provides it with an inherent stability and a tremendous potential for appreciation that purely fiat currencies simply cannot match. The central bank's strategy is a masterclass in economic engineering, first by strengthening the banking sector through mergers and compliance with international standards like SWIFT, then by strategically reducing the money supply to increase the currency's intrinsic value, and now, with this masterstroke, by introducing the physical tools necessary for a high-value currency to function in a modern consumer economy, thereby completing the circuit that allows the theoretical value to become a practical, spendable reality for every Iraqi citizen and every international investor. The preparedness of the exchange centers, both within Iraq and at the international level, is the next critical domino to fall, and expert insights from on-the-ground sources confirm that these centers are already in a state of high alert, having received their new rate sheets, their verification equipment, and their specific processing instructions to handle the influx of transactions that will commence the moment the final green light is given, which could be a matter of days, not weeks, from the point of this public currency distribution. The timeline for holders is now directly tied to the successful and widespread absorption of these new notes into the Iraqi economy, a process that is being accelerated at a breathtaking pace to minimize any market disruption and to present the world with a fait accompli, a situation where the new rate is already a functioning reality within Iraq, forcing the hand of the international community to simply fall in line and update their own systems to reflect what is already true on the ground, thereby bypassing the potential for political interference or speculative attacks that could have derailed a more telegraphed announcement. What this means for you, the holder, is that the abstract concept of wealth you have been holding in your portfolio is now in the process of being transmuted into concrete, liquid, and internationally recognized financial power, a transition that is arguably the most profound aspect of this entire journey, as it moves your investment from a paper asset into a transformative tool capable of altering your family's destiny for centuries. The central bank's latest policies, including the removal of the dollar monopoly on local transactions and the push for a digital dinar, are all interconnected threads of the same tapestry, woven together to create a resilient, sovereign, and powerful national currency that is independent of external manipulation and capable of competing on the global stage, and the lower denominations are the final, colorful threads that complete the picture, making the entire image clear and undeniable for everyone to see. We are witnessing the birth of a new Middle Eastern economic powerhouse, and your foresight to acquire the currency before this public transformation is the key that has unlocked the door to this unprecedented opportunity, an opportunity that is no longer based on hope but on the irrefutable evidence of monetary policy in action, a policy that is printing a new future, quite literally, one lower denomination note at a time. As this information settles and the sheer weight of this confirmation truly dawns on you, it is crucial to understand that the final phase of this process is now about global activation, which means your personal preparedness is just as important as the bank's preparedness, because when the official international announcement is made, the window for the most advantageous exchange procedures will be at its peak, and being informed, calm, and strategic will be the difference between a good outcome and a life-altering one. The next step for banks, which is already in motion, involves the synchronization of their international branches and correspondent banking relationships to flip the switch simultaneously across different time zones, ensuring that a holder in Asia has the same access and the same rate as a holder in North America or Europe, a logistical feat that requires impeccable timing and flawless communication, which is precisely why the current period of quiet preparation is so critical and why the public announcement has been held back until every single one of these global nodes is confirmed to be ready for synchronized activation. The silence from some mainstream financial media outlets is not an indication that this is not happening. It is a standard protocol for such a sensitive geopolitical and economic event, as premature reporting could trigger volatile market reactions and speculative chaos, so the official channels will remain quiet until the entire system is live and operational, at which point the announcement will be a simple confirmation of a reality that is already functioning, leaving no room for debate or market manipulation. Your immediate action step, right now, is to ensure all your documentation is in perfect order, that you know exactly who your first point of contact will be for your exchange, whether that is a primary bank, a currency exchange center, or a financial advisor, and that you have a clear, step-by-step plan for the first 72 hours following the public news breaking, because that initial period will be one of controlled frenzy, and your calm, premeditated strategy will allow you to navigate it with confidence and clarity. Do not get caught in the last-minute panic or the flood of misinformation that will inevitably attempt to cloud this historic moment. You have received the most critical information from a source dedicated to providing organic and original data, and you are now armed with the knowledge that the foundational event, the release of the lower notes, has already occurred, making everything that follows an inevitable consequence, not a hopeful possibility. This is the moment your steadfast belief and patience have been building towards for years, a moment where geopolitical strategy, economic reform, and individual foresight converge to create a ripple of positive change that will begin in the heart of the Middle East and extend outwards to touch the lives of those wise enough to see the potential before it became obvious to the entire world. The journey of the Iraqi dinar is a testament to the power of national resilience and the transformative potential of a well-executed vision, and you are now a part of that story, a stakeholder in the new chapter of a nation rising from its past to claim its destined place as a prosperous and influential member of the global community. So, stay vigilant, stay informed, and get ready, because the signal you have been waiting for is no longer a signal. It is the physical currency being printed, distributed, and spent on the streets of Iraq, and the echo of that activity is about to become a roar that shakes the very foundations of the global financial system, ushering in a new era of prosperity that begins with you. To ensure you do not miss the next critical update, the one that will announce the exact date and time for international exchanges, you must take action right now, so click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell because my next report will be the one you cannot afford to miss. The one that will provide the final instructions for the most significant financial transaction of your life. And I will be delivering that information here first, directly to you, the moment it is confirmed.